Hello everyone, today I'll give a quick update on my account portfolio, talk a little bit about the NIO capital raise, and my executed trade for the day, and briefly my strategy going forward for next week. Okay, so let's move on to NIO. So NIO did release on the 10th a proposed offering of 60 million shares with an additional 9 million shares available. And you can see this in their SEC filing on their NIO website. Go to here. Then they have their prospectus for disclosing information. Click on that and go to offerings. And this will give the details of the offering. And you can see based on the number of shares that they are offering versus the number of shares that will be outstanding afterwards, that this is roughly a 4.6% dilution, which this brings me into the trade that I executed today. So I did end up closing out my put that I had put in place several days ago, and I closed that out with roughly an $8 profit. Here was the chart for the day. It didn't really seem like it was going to hold above 42, and so I decided just to put a limit order in, and that did execute during the day. I think it executed probably around here, and so I did close it out with a very, very small profit on that position. And going into next week, if it does drop around the 35 to 38 range, then I may turn around and sell another put option at that point to collect another premium. And then if it does get assigned, then I'll turn around and write a call option. But I feel with that type of dilution, looks like about roughly 4.6%, that is probably not going to hold this 42 price, and it may dip down in the 30s. But we'll see. But usually with dilution events, they do drop the share price down. So at this point, with it being 4.6%, I'm somewhat unclear on how much that could potentially drop the price. So I'd much rather just be out of the trade, and then I'll just observe next week. Okay, so let's show the positions on the account. So I have two options that are in the money at expiration. The first one is the Chemico CCJ at 1050 and the Square option at 215. So on the Chemico, you can see I did not make as much money as I could have, and that's kind of the risk with the options, is you are capping the gains that you will receive as a result of that. So I did make positive money on this 1050 from a trade standpoint, and then I also did collect the option premium. Obviously, if I didn't put that option contract on there, or if I put it at a higher strike price like 13, then my profit would have been much higher. But that is the trade-off with these options and collecting the premiums, is you are capping the amount that you make on the high end. So if the stock does run up quite dramatically, then you miss out on that gain. Moving on to the other option that is in the money, with a strike price of 215, the Square stock did close at 216.59, and so that option was in the money, but it wasn't deep enough in the money to compensate for the option that I was paid at the beginning of the week. And so I did come out ahead writing that contract in contrast to the CCJ. Okay, so those were the only two, and then the other ones did expire worthless. So this Square option was a put, so if it would drop below $205, then 100 shares of Square would have been assigned. But since it didn't reach that, then I did collect this $117 premium from that. And then this option also did not hit. It would have had to been above $217.50 for it to be in the money, and it was not. I missed it by $1, so I do collect this premium free as well, so I can turn around and write a call option next week going forward on the 100 shares that I'll have left in the account, because 100 shares will be assigned through this call option. And that will show up on the account tomorrow and Saturday. They'll clear out all these expired ones and then assign the stock. And my Tesla. So my 4 contracts that I had wrote several weeks ago, they did expire worthless. So I do collect this $525 premium. Okay, so then moving on. So let's look at the trade results that I have for the year to date and the trade results for this week. Realized gains are $27,500. Most of these are from writing option contracts. My realized gain or loss for this month is $862. And you can see in here the NIO position that I did close out today. And that was recorded today because I closed the position. The other ones won't show up on the realized gain until Monday. And then lastly, I did take a position on NNDM, and so that's 300 shares total. And I collected a premium of $100 here and then another $37 here. And I believe that that is down since what I've purchased it, but with the premium that I have collected, I'm still positive on these trades. And that's one of the things I like about the strategy that I'm doing. You don't have to be exactly right, and you can still end up making money on the trades. And that's why I do like those options and collecting the premiums. As you can see with the Cameco, you can miss out on some huge gains on a run up. So it's better to pick a stock that you feel quite confident that it is not going to drop. Ideally, if it stays flat, then you really maximize the amount of premiums that you collect on the options. And that was one thing that I really liked about the Cameco, is very stable. All right, so that's all I have for today. Thank you. Bye.